you have something, I believe, in your shop that I'm curious of. You have a solar system. Is that correct? You have a whole
I
solar.
do.
You
Yes.
do.
Solar
Tell me
Got the
system.
whole solar system in there.
Wow,
the
does
whole
that
solar
include
Solar
system.
system.
You have the
Saturn
whole
and
system, and
Jupiter?
so you have the tankless water heater, and then you have a solar panels and the whole inverter and everything. How's all that work?
Yes. I absolutely love all of that. I put solar on the roof in 2014 um, because I golf with a guy that was like selling solar at the time, and he was like, "Oh, like the incentives are great right now. Like you got to buy the system, but the government's going to pay a third of it." And I was just like, "Oh, okay." And like I looked into it a little bit more and stuff, and I when I first bought the house, it was radiant heating. My
Mhm.
house was built in '58. So in '58, they were putting radiant flooring in the concrete.
Mhm.
And over time, the boiler crapped out. I think actually the boiler died a month after I bought the house in November of 2012.
As it does.
So living in the Northeast with the
Mhm.
winter time, that's a great time to not have a boiler.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I lived. We lived off space heaters for a little bit. That was also my hot water going through the boiler. So in a pinch, I ended up putting like a small 40-gallon like tank electric water heater into the garage, and we just kind of limped along with space heaters. I was finally able to, I had 5 to 10 contractors over here just kind of giving me quotes on like this system. I looked at mini splits. I looked at doing like radiators, baseboard, like a variety of different systems. I ended up going with a heat pump,
Mhm.
which I love and hate. Like a heat pump's not great for like super cold
Mhm.
conditions, but I offset that with a fireplace insert. So I went and bought a fireplace insert, and that will heat our entire house with a few fans kind of circulating the air around and stuff. Unless it's like in the single digits or below that, because basically the way a heat pump works when it's like 30, if it's below freezing, that heat pump can't really pull any hot air from the outside, so
I don't know why.
it will switch over. It will switch over to a like superheated coil in the duct,
Correct.
and that that is very expensive. I have learned.
Smells
So
funny when it first comes on.
um, so that's my heating. I did switch over to a electric. So my entire house is electric. I know that's everything. I switched over to an electric hot water heater, which at the time that was probably 2015, 2016. At the time, electric hot water heaters were kind of meh. They had like mixed reviews. I took a gamble on it, and it's still running strong. That was a huge win in my opinion. And then getting the solar on the roof was also a huge win. Like I will pay an electric bill probably January, February, and March, and then all of the rest of the year I pay $0 for my electric because I'm getting the kickback, and then anything extra that I sell back to the grid will just go into credits to my energy company. So like I'll go into November, December, and I'll have those credits built up. So even those months, like I typically won't pay an electric bill. Um,
Nice.
I still have the loan for the electric panels or for the solar panels, but I think the whole system in its entirety was 40K. Uh, the government paid 13K of that, so I
Okay.
took a loan. I took a loan out for 27,000, and then because I actually bought the system, I will get a I will get it's called an SREC, SREC. So every 1,000 megawatt, or I'm sorry, every 1,000 kilowatt of energy that I generate, I get one of those SRECs, which basically trades as kind of like a stock. This year, 2024, is the final year that I get those back. So those typically sell from anywhere from 300 to 500 per share. So, quarterly, I would get a check based on their discretion. I kind of put it in their court to just decide like, oh, like we should hang on to it or we should sell immediately. So, in the course of the year, I might get like $2,000 to $3,000 back from those SRECs. So, if I was smart, I would put that towards the loan, but I'm putting that towards other stuff that
CNC,
CNC
more-
machine.
CNC, yeah.
credit cards.
CNC.
Yeah, those. Hey, at some point, you got to pay those.
Well, you
dang
need a credit
cards.
card to pay for the CNC. So yeah, same thing. On the same page.
Good
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
hmm
But yeah, solar. I mean, solar now might not be the best in terms of like, I got in my opinion, a ludicrous deal on what I've paid for in terms of energy over the years. And the rebates aren't just really aren't there as good as they were back then.
When you're putting it back on the grid, what are you getting? I mean, are you getting 50% on that or 53 cents on the dollar? What is it? I mean, do you know?
Ooh, I think I'm in the 20s.
Okay.
My actual rate. I would have to look at the electric bill to tell you exactly.
Okay.
But I don't pay a discount. If I was to rip the solar off today, I would still pay the same price that I'm paying right now for my electrical rate. It's because you can like rent, you can get solar panels dropped on your roof for free, but you don't actually own them. So that energy, whoever the solar company is, will like get the kickbacks on like extra energy and everything.
So buying outright like you did is the way to go if you're going to do it. And then if you go to sell your house, also, like that's a whole nother problem too. If you go to sell your house and you don't own the panels, then now there's extra stuff to mess with. Like buyers are going to have to deal with. Well, I don't owe this, but do you? I got to get extra loan to pay those off also.
Yep.
Like I looked into it a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did.
yeah.
There's a few different setups, and like for me at the time, I mean, like when I bought my house, I had all my credit cards paid off. I was just like, ha ha ha, I'll take that loan. And yeah,
You're like, I owe a bunch of money.
still paying that off. But I mean, like that's one of the because it was like technically like a government loan that's like 1.9% or whatever, and I'm just like minimum payment all day. Like you get the minimum. I'll
You get
allocate
$1.
more.
You get $1.